Morning, CK. I think the tweet has done the trick, and it's a gap-up start that we should brace for.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody, at the outset, and I think people will be happy to see the amount of green on the SGX charts for sure, because when we went away after yesterday's trade, there was a bit of trepidation that markets would cave in afresh, and most of the long positions had got abandoned. Now that can act as a kind of a double effect today, because people will be wanting to scramble back up on board again this particular train, because this sort of volatility really does nobody any help. But then it is something that we have to live with currently, mainly because news flow of a consistent nature is not available, and we are having this blowing hot and cold on successive days. So I think today, if it starts up at around, let's say, closer to 10,300 levels on the Nifty, then we may have to wait for a little bit of pullback. So the first pullback that we get on an intraday basis for both Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty should be an area to buy. I think 10,350 on the Nifty future is what I would aim as the first target, and the Bank Nifty will doubtless try to make it again to the 24,500 levels. So these are two outer bounds that I will want to watch first, and what the market is wanting to do with those resistances.
Okay, and would that make you have an all-buy list today, CK, or is it a mix of buy and sell calls?
Well, there is a bit of question mark because of these large gaps, etc. Sometimes these very big gaps get sold into, so I have a mixed position. For the long side, I am picking Repco Home Finance, which has shown a very, very decent and attractive pattern on the charts, breaking out with quite a bit of robustness over recent congestion zones and reaching about 600 levels in the bargain. And I think at this level momentum ought to continue, particularly in a good market today. So aiming for a target at about 610 or better, buy with a stop loss at about 592. For the short side, which will be a caveated sell, of course, Adani Enterprise is the one I am picking, because that stock showed a tendency to break its former swing lows and possibly wanting to continue further. There was some bit of a news element today morning which could probably curtail the downward intent. So that is why I'm saying this is a caveated sell. If there is a follow through to the downside and the market is not robustly up, then maybe you can look at this trade. But if the market is not up for any reason, then Adani Enterprise is a sell. 152 current price, 156 stop loss, targeting about 144.
Kunal, morning, and an all-buy list from you for sure?
Yes, Aisha, and the last 7 days, this is the second attempt, the Nifty is making of more than 100 points gap up, opening. The last time it sustained was on 23rd of March, and today could be yet another day. So it's a good comeback for the markets over the last 6-7 days. In that regards, I have all buy list. The first two calls which I have, first one is Indiabulls Housing. The stock is trying to make a very strong comeback. The volumes yesterday, even though the price remained in a narrow range of I think 2.5%, the volumes yesterday were exceptionally high. The stock is very close to breaking its 50-day moving average as well. And looking at the entire space, which is trying to make a strong comeback, the large caps as well as the mid cap names, I believe Indiabulls Housing should rise from current levels. Targets of 1344. Stop loss at 1270. And the second is a mid cap name. It's Sabayan RK Forging. The last 4-5 days we've seen extremely strong volume accumulation. The stock is inching or very close towards breaking an all-time high. I think if it rises another 5-6% from current levels, so that's a buy from my side. Targets of 868, stop loss 802.
Okay, Manas, morning. What's your list looking like today? And you've been having a consensus call with CK for a second day on the trot. There's a Repco Home and a buy there from you as well.
Yes, even yesterday, Aisha, I recommended Repco Homes because stock has given a clear breakout on the daily chart. The stock was facing resistance near to its 50-day moving average, but since the stock has already broken its 50-day moving average with great volumes, I think now stock has potential to test its 200-day moving average. So here the target would be around 630, stop loss should be 584. Second is a buy on Eicher Motors, because most of the auto stocks are looking strong on the charts. You can see clear reversal on Nifty Auto Index. And Eicher Motors has already broken its 200-day moving average. It is making higher tops and higher bottoms in the daily charts now. So I think the stock has potential to test 29,750. So take a long position here and keep your stop loss below 28,500.
And your second call was on Eicher, right?
Yeah, Eicher Motors, because see, most of the auto stocks are looking strong, and Eicher Motors has already broken its 200-day moving average, and that is why I want to recommend Eicher Motors. Target would be around 29,750, and the stop loss should be 28,500.
Okay, lots of trading ideas coming in largely on the buy side. Let's take it across then to our researchers and find out what the stocks as well as newsmakers which are going to be active today. Pankaj joins in firstly to talk about all the steel news update that is coming in. Remember we told you about a price hike. Pankaj, what could be the repercussions?
Right, let's just speak about this price hike and what has happened. So most of the large cap steel players have gone ahead and increased prices by about 1,000 rupees HRC for the HRC coil or hot rolled coil. This comes in at the start of April. It's not on the expected lines, and this is the 6th straight hike that these companies have done. This takes the prices of HR's domestic prices here in India to a 6-year high, and that's the reason why this is important. Nobody was expecting this, but with the raw material prices going up, it is something that most of these companies had to pass on to. In terms of dollar term, it's about 3 to 4% in terms of entire price hike. What is next to watch out for? What happens as far as volume is concerned? Now we have the production data coming in till the month of March. The production data, the sales data in the month of April would be particularly important. Before that, maybe some of the companies also declare numbers. So commentary from large cap players like Tata Steel, JSW Steel or any other large cap steel players could be quite interesting. But this continues to confirm that domestic prices trend continues to move up, currently at a 6-year high.